Well, the College Football Frenzy, we're back.
Yes.
Those of you who don't get the College Football Frenzy, those of you who are not that that need to like read it.
Not cool enough.
Yeah, we spelled it wrong. It's frenzy on purpose.
Yes.
Okay, instead of frenzy, FRENZY, it's friend-Z. All right.
Use your pals, people. Use your pals.
Come on. Laugh a little in life.
Right. Don't take life too serious. We're talking about college football, for crying out loud.
College football, for God's sake. So a lot of people are making money, not namely me and you, but a lot of people are making money in that industry.
Yeah, that is true.
No doubt about it. So, the first thing I really wanted to talk about, and I guess we'll start off with a rocket ship here. I don't know if you watched. Yeah. I don't know if you watched the Alabama LSU game at all, or saw any. You watched it?
I watched most of it, yes, and then I fell asleep.
Okay, fair enough.
And then I caught up on highlights because the game was over.
Yes. So I talked about. I think it was. Although I guess it hasn't come out yet, but Sports Moneyline was on the show that Steve has. And I talked about this, and I just. I can't believe how poor the defensive coordinator was for LSU. They once Alabama realized they could run QB draw.
How many times did they run that?
Right. I mean, so let's see if we can pull up. And I don't want. Okay, for the fans. So because we try to be a fan friendly show. A lot of people hate Brian Kelly. I was never a person that hate him. I know his demeanor is he's all red and puffy when he's mad. And I mean, I'd be laughing my ass off if I was a player, but he's all fucking bad.
He is like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that just right before it gets burnt, it turns red when he gets mad.
I guess they don't want to laugh because they're going to get their buddy taken away, so they don't want to do that. But
he's a little too polished, I think, for the Bayou. You know what I mean? Like, he's more Notre Dame than he is LSU. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that it's a bad thing, but you got to have a little swag about you down there at LSU.
Yeah, swag is definitely not – he definitely doesn't have any swag.
He's buttoned up.
He's buttoned up, which, I mean, I'm trying to think. So, I mean, Saban won a national championship. You could argue he's buttoned up.
But Saban has a little bit of a hood in him, too. Saban he'll
he's from West Virginia, so.
Yeah, it's about the same as the Bayou.
It is the same as the Bayou. Well, West Virginia's not the same as the Bayou, but it's definitely – You definitely have people that are in tough situations, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And I think I don't know a ton of West Virginians, in all fairness, but
sure.
But I think the mountain people like to have a good time, and I think the people down in LSU really like to have a good time. So
that's what I was saying. They're not straight laced, walking that line and toes on the line type of people. They just like to win.
No, that's there's nothing like a Louisiana Saturday night, man. Like no doubt. And I've been to Louisiana many times.
Yes, and
I can tell you, I think we talked about it last time.
Yes.
Yes. So Louisiana Saturday night is great. Good old Mel McDaniel. All right. You know that song?
Yeah. What's that?
You know that song, Louisiana Saturday Night?
I'd have to hear it. I'm sure I do, though. Right. Living down south for so long.
This is how good this show is. I'm going to play it for you.
Let's go.
Let's see. Now, I'm curious if you can hear it. I guess I might have to share the screen for it. And then I have the clip pulled up so we could actually do some breaking down of actual football.
Yeah, right.
Which is what we're.
That's what makes it great.
Yeah, it's, draw
people in, man. Now everybody's gonna look up this this song now. We just got a bunch of hits for Louisiana Saturday Night.
Yeah. So they're gonna make some money on YouTube. Good for them.
Yes.
You can say thank you. Although I don't want to play too much because they
Copyright infringement.
I think they demonetize you. I don't know, some nonsense.
Yeah.
But, all right, here we go. This is before we get to our what do you call area.
Let's go.
If you don't know that song, you ain't country, and you certainly would have to revoke your PA license if you didn't know that song. You'd have to turn that thing in.
Yeah.
You know,
PA's not the
you're no longer a citizen of Reading.
Yeah,
So,
trust me, Reading is so not Louisiana.
No,
Reading is more of
the suburbs of Reading are. I've driven through it. Suburbs. Yeah, when you get like a few miles. Listen, I used to go pole vaulting.
Oh, they definitely like to hunt deer and kill things, but and live off the land sometimes. It's not like southwestern PA where close to Virginia type thing.
True.
But anyway.
All right, so let's get
reel ourselves in.
Let's do some brass tacks. So let's.
You like how I did that transition? Reel ourselves in with fishing and Louisiana. Yes. That's nice.
You're good. You like to point the transitions out. You're good with that. All right.
I do.
All right. I'm going to do my best here. Can you see what's there?
I can. If I were a little mini me, yes. No, I can see it though.
For some reason, when we show this, because obviously it's on the mobile, and I'm going to expand this a little bit and see if there's a better way.
You're fine.
That makes sense. There's nothing better than having us super tiny next to each other like that. All right. I look how tiny we are.
Man, you're so tiny. This is why it's frenzy.
It's funny, dude. It's funny. It's what it is. All right. Let's go. I don't know if we need sound or not, but all right. This is before the draws started happening. So I think this is kind of where they may have thought, we're going to be able to run this queue. Okay. This is before the draws.
This opening drive. It's a keeper. Follows the back. Go, Rowe. Explodes to the secondary. Race for the end zone.
Yes.
Touchdown. Tied. What a...
I want to say, Dave, that was a type of read.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and the way things are evolutionizing themselves, is that a word? Evolutionizing? It is now. But the way the evolution is going with this whole zone read type stuff, now instead of if the back doesn't get it, hey, back, go block the guy that we're reading just in case, or go chip somebody. And that's what they're doing.
Could be a follow.
Very true.
Could be a follow. But but it looks more like a read. So it might be let me look at this play again, because I was Mr. QB run guy as a coach.
When I had Christian Green down at Tampa Catholic, we went to the state championship down in Florida. It was amazing.
Whatever happened to him?
He ended up going to Florida State. He had a couple of injuries. He moved the receiver. Didn't play a ton. Got some PT. But he ended up winning a national championship on that Jalen Winston.
Was he on that team?
Jameis Winston team. He was on that squad, bro. But he's doing well now. He's back down in Tampa. I still every now and then touch base with him. But it's such a good young man, bro.
Great athlete. Absolutely phenomenal athlete. It shows you how good the athletes are at that really high level. Then a guy like him, it's not like he didn't play, but he didn't become a star, right? Isn't that amazing? To me, that's amazing. That those guys at the highest level, they're such good athletes. Unless you really unless you really are you got an overly specific, tremendous skill set. You really have to battle.
And here's the other thing, Dave. I mean, just going looking. This is what they did. They had a game. Alabama had a game plan with their trips formation.
Yep.
And we'll see it throughout these clips, I'm sure.
Right. So this thing, they're 3 over 3, which means it's some version of man. I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And later on, they get out of that because I think of this. Okay. So So
play of this opening.
All right, so they're double teaming at the front point of attack. Looks like he's reading the defensive end.
Drive.
Mhm.
I don't
That's
know
what I
why.
was thinking as well. Yeah.
But it looks like it's a follow though, because that's Dupree, by the way. You know who Dupree is, right?
Kid Capri. I mean, Dupree. No. He's.
You don't remember Dupree, the linebacker from UConn?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
His son is the tight end for Alabama.
Oh,
You didn't know that?
I did not know that. Dude, I was going to say that, but I didn't know that's where you were going with it. That's amazing. You're talking about number 45.
Yes, the linebacker from Lackawanna. Yep.
Yeah.
His son is the tight end. He was originally at Maryland, played there, and then he transferred to Alabama.
Wait till you see another run I think you might show later on. Dupree is running down. I mean, the guy is fast, too.
To keeper.
You know, it looks like it might be a follow. I don't know. It could be a follow.
I think you might be right on that one, man.
Explodes to the secondary. Race for the end zone. Touchdown.
It looks like more like a follow just because of the blocking. So
Sure.
The tight end is blocking out.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd be blocking out, and I don't think I think if it was a read, he would have. Now I can tell you this: I used to run a read where I would call it grass read. So if you're gonna give it, if you don't see grass for yourself, when I had a quarterback that was the better runner, not the running, like the running back was the. If the running back was the better runner, I prefer to read a person and you know, kind of we're just giving it all day.
Right.
But when I had a quarterback that was a better runner, I used to call it a grass read, which means anytime they could pull, if they saw in front of them green grass.
No doubt.
If you saw green grass, run. So it was I put it in I think it was my last year, the last 2 years of coaching, because both times my quarterbacks were actually, my tailback had gotten hurt. He was the best runner, unbelievable runner. He tore his ACL, and then I had to make the quarterback. He was really turned out he was the best runner. First I had him reading everything, but then I was like, shit, he's the best runner. Maybe I should just like, if you fucking see grass,
go get it.
You know what I mean? Because people can play you with the read, where they can come down, force you to pull it, and send the guy over the top, which teams were starting to do to me. So I was just like, green grass, dude. Green grass. You see green grass, run. And you know what? There's no solution for that. None. Because
especially when you have a better athlete.
If your quarterback's the better athlete, there's absolutely no solution. Because
now I love this angle right here. And this I'm curious, and this is why I was maybe saying it was a zone read, and they're reading that corner now. If he goes inside, he's going to give it.
Oh, you're right. Is that's the wide guy?
Yeah.
Could be.
I don't know.
His eyes are there, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what also made me think that, because
his eyes are there. Although,
but to your point, though, the scheme of it, they double down on that 3 technique with the guard and tackle, and they work up to the second level, and you have a hat on a hat with the tight end. So now you only have to make one guy miss. This is why it could be like a zone read look, but really a true QB follow. Yeah, and now the running back is responsible.
Interesting. All right, let's try and get to really a shot. By the way, phenomenal play. They went man to man. They took advantage of it. Okay, LSU. I'm not going to show any LSU highlights because there aren't many. The only thing I would say is that what disappointed me about LSU was it seemed to me now that Nussmeier is like not allowed to run like unless it's literally like I don't know what the best way to put it is. Unless, basically, you need to get a first down type of thing.
Yeah.
Because they basically let him run. They were inviting him to take off, and he just wouldn't. So obviously he's not slow. When he did take off, I didn't think he was. I didn't think he looked slow to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't know. All right, let's see if we can find.
Yeah, that's a couple plays ahead because I actually did watch this again today.
This is the what do you call it?
It's probably about, if you put your pointer like right where the A is right about there.
We should be getting to it. We're at 14. I think it's 21. That's where it happens. That's 17.
Because that play that you're talking about with that QB follow, they ran it 2 times within 3 plays. This was it right here. I think it was.
This might be it.
Yes. Trips up top.
Oh yes, this is it.
Yep.
So now if you look, there's 3 receivers.
Right.
What?
Now let's watch what they did up top. They actually ran a route combination up top. So I think he had basically, if he gets pressed on number 2, you have that what we call a box fade. So that number 2 receiver, this is where Tom Brady always hit Gronk. This is where you see that middle slot guy. You run a fade. If he's pressed, he can take that. So I think this is like a true RPO, but a different way because you have 2 hitches and then the slot guy who has the ball, which you invite press when you put that guy on the ball. So now you can take a shot if you have it. If not, go ahead and you have a design run built in on this. And if you watch those receivers, they all run routes. They don't block.
I think he's reading this. So everybody runs routes now. It's a waste of time to even block them on these kind of things. Mm-hmm. So the inside linebacker, I think he's looking at the inside linebacker. And if that inside linebacker drops for pass when he shows pass as a quarterback, he's taking off. That's what I think is happening. They're playing zone on that side. I don't think I looked at the backside. I'm not sure.
Ball definitely.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the backside because they're running front side.
Yep. So look at the outside linebacker.
Right.
The inside linebacker.
Yeah.
He is in a drop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's eyeing him. Look at his eyes.
Sure.
I used to have the little
right.
On how do I put the beady little eyes, the beady eyes. Right?
Absolutely.
The beady eyes are looking right there. And as soon as he sees turn and get to a drop, he's gone. Now, what was crazy is it looks like, I don't know if the defensive end did this on his own going inside.
Right, which was dumb.
Okay. I mean, I in trouble because the other inside linebacker abandons the box.
Right.
The best athlete on the field is the quarterback.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's exactly. So we're kind of saying the same thing, but we're looking at 2 different people. I'm telling you right now, I truly, truly believe. I don't even know if because that's why the running back gets out there. Like if that linebacker that you're talking about, if he stays in the box, that's fine because you have a lead. It becomes a QB lead. But I'm truly thinking and believing they have 2 plays in one where he can throw that box fade if he wants it. If not, if they play zone, which they are playing zone, whenever a linebacker turns his back to the line of scrimmage, that's guaranteed zone. Steve DeBerg taught me that from day one when I started working with him. And that I see what you're saying, but I truly believe it's that number 2 receiver that they're truly checking. If we can win on that go route, then, hey, we can take it. Because with what you're saying, like, what's his name? Miller, the QB, he's leading even before that outside linebacker even gets into his drop. Like he's taking 1 step and he's looking to throw it, but he's like, no, it's zone. I'm bouncing.
I think he's looking at this
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because there's no way he can know if this receiver is going to be open or not at this point.
No. But you're missing my point. Here's my point with that.
Because you got cover 3, so your pre-snap read is cover 3 right now.
Absolutely.
2,
so
3.
What I'm saying is this: number 2's not pressed. He's still taking that drop to make it look like a pass, giving his running back that time to come across his body.
Agreed.
And become that lead blocker. If that number 2 guy was pressed, I truly think he throws the fade.
If he's in man-to-man?
If he's pressed man-to-man, yes. But they played zone this way, even in the red zone.
If they were pressed man-to-man, the way that they're playing, I mean, the way that LSU.
I'm just talking about the number 2 receiver being pressed. I don't care about anybody else.
LSU here is a 4-man front in spread against this guy is
look at these 3 wasted guys from the center and on the second level and third level. Look at the 3 wasted guys: the backside linebacker, the backside corner, and the safety. They're covering nothing but grass.
It's a waste. You're right.
It's a terrible, terrible defensive scheme to this formation.
Shane, if he wanted to, okay, they're in cover 3. He could go 4 verticals, okay, and have the inside guy in a touchdown every play. Every play. So, like, this defense, they're just taking the easy path, really.
Yes. Like you said, they're giving it to their best athlete, man.
Let's keep gaining yards, But,
Yeah.
I mean, if he went 4 verticals instead of this, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, but why hold the ball, man? Why hold the ball? Just let your best athlete, like you were saying earlier.
Agreed. So that's the run. That was the first one where I thought I said immediately at that point. I didn't really realize it when they ran the run with the QB. I just thought, they outblocked them or whatever. I really looked at it a second time. But that was the play that I thought up top, they're like, these guys are like LSU's fucked. That's what they thought.
Yes.
We're going to kill them.
They don't have an answer for that formation.
All right, and we're not even talking about now that it helps the running back. I'm sorry, let's go back. That's going to help the running back in the long run too, right?
Yes.
I mean, holy shit! If the quarterback's going to run for acres, what is the running back going to do when you're trying to figure out?
Continues to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go back here. So they come right back to it. Okay. They come
right here again.
They go right back to it. Okay, so now he goes, okay, we're fucked if we do that defense. We'll go over here too high. I guess this is some version of a spy, right? They're man-to-man. So it's 2-man.
Yeah.
Okay. But
I wouldn't even say 2-man.
The problem is you still have 4 down linemen.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasted player down low. 2 of them. A safety and a corner. You're playing with 9. Actually, in my mind, the way I look at it as an offensive coordinator, they're actually playing with 8. The backside defensive end, who's really a linebacker, walked up. The corner and the backside safety are fucked.
Yeah.
Which makes the 2 linebackers fucked.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not seeing it.
Absolutely. Awful.
Now, not only are they're disguising man and playing cover 2. What?
But if you look at it again, they're playing cover 2 on the front side, no doubt. But they're trying to stop the backside stuff with those guys.
They're playing cover 2 on the backside. Look at 14. These eyes are inside.
Dude, exactly. It's zone. Yeah, it makes no sense.
This is 2. So these 2 backside guys are never going to get involved in a run, obviously. Shit. Dupree, if he ran any fucking kind of out route, would fuck the LSU on the backside. Okay, cover 2. I mean, he's 6'6", the tight end.
Yeah.
They're essentially bracketing the tight end, not on purpose, right? With a defensive end over him. Stupid. There's 3 guys over the tight end.
Yeah.
Why? It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Okay?
Yeah,
that guy, Shane, that coordinator, that guy right there, he fucking makes multi-million dollars a year. He sucks.
Yeah. And you got to give Alabama's offense coordinator
Who is the defensive coordinator?
a ton of credit.
Really bad coaches because I get it, right?
Yeah.
They're not even giving themselves a chance. They're thinking they're going to look and say he's reading the inside linebacker. They think Blake Baker, 8 years experience as defensive coordinator, two seasons at Missouri, which obviously was good. The last I remember Brian Kelly.
But you do have to give. I think Sheridan is his name for Alabama. Seeing LSU, how they play this.
Yeah, Alabama's offensive coordinators are much better than LSU's defensive coordinators. Yeah. I always laugh with defensive coordinators because obviously I've been a defensive coordinator, I've been an offensive coordinator, and I believe that the offense dictates to the defense. I'm sure the same you do too. I always laugh when defensive coordinators think they're outsmarting you. Dude, you're only so many things you can do on defense. Okay? Sure. Rule number 1, don't let their best player score touchdowns against you. Rule number 1 on defense. If you're going to get beat, make the running back beat you. Make one of those receivers beat you.
Yeah.
Do not let the guy who runs 4.4 that weighs 225 pounds on a play that we run in recreation football.
I was going to say elementary. Yeah.
All right. So remember I said he's reading the inside linebacker?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I disagree, though. I'm telling you, I think he's reading the guy over number 2. If he's not pressed, it's an automatic run. It's an automatic run. Look at the lineman downfield already.
You might be right. It does look that way. Yeah, you might be right.
He doesn't have time to read number 2. I'm sorry, he doesn't have time to read that inside linebacker.
So
I wish there was an example of that guy press.
Do you think maybe he's looking, when you say press, do you think he's maybe looking to see if it's man for sure or zone?
Yes.
Maybe he's looking for man or zone from that guy.
Yes.
So it might be even simpler than what you're saying. It may be just, is this guy in man or is this guy in zone? If I see zone, meaning he as soon as the ball's snapped, not pre-snap, which is actually smart, post-snap. If post-snap, are they looking at me to see are they getting in their drops, or are they playing some sort of a man where they're immediately covering their guys? By the way, if they're playing man, I think they're fucked. So
but the whole point of this, Dave, what I'm trying to say is they're running a box fade from number 2. They're running 2 hitches on outside and the inside with number 1 and number 3.
Right.
And if number 2 is pressed, he's got an automatic opportunity to throw a fade for a big play. And you're not wrong. If it is man, their backs are turned anyway because they're playing man-to-man and you have a lead blocker. But I'm just saying –
he can just sprint to the outside and
all I'm saying is it's so simple, Dave.
So simple.
It's so simple. If number 2 is pressed, I can throw a fade. If number 2 is not pressed, you take one step, let the running back get in front of you, and it becomes a quarterback lead. That's
here's how they should play it, okay? And we're probably torturing people by not actually pressing play because they want us to play. So that's how I am because I have ADD. So I'm like, just press fucking play, please, guys.
No, I love it.
But that safety is useless there. The linebacker who's rolled up should be back and push that other guy over. They should have 3 down linemen, make them run the ball down there.
Yeah.
Have the corner play man-to-man on Dupree if he's good enough, and put the safety over the middle as a spy. Okay,
Right.
so now you have those guys to try and stop the run game and the QB run game.
They can actually be in the mix now.
They could be in the mix now. Yeah. If Bama's line, which may be true, if Bama's line is much better, they're going to double team those 3 guys, and they may run it down your throat. That's possible.
It's possible.
But why would you want to give up the easiest touchdown of all time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You and I could have run this one. I could have run this one in, bro.
Dude. Like, I don't get into it. I just make some smart remark.
All right. Milrow, keeper all the way.
I mean, the guy is really close to getting touched.
No touchdown.
Listen, I think about it because I played linebacker. Those poor linebackers. They're like, why am I dropping in the coverage? I'm slow with a neck roll. And now I'm out in space. This train is coming at me that runs a 4-4.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when they come off the sideline, that's one of those when the linebacker coach starts screaming at you, you got to make the play. That's just one of those you just look and you just go drink your water.
Yeah, because you know what's going to come out your mouth next is going to get you sat down and possibly bench for like a series.
Yes, you need that NIL money next week, so you're just like, Coach put a dumb scheme together. I call this, so back in the day when we played Hofstra, okay, you might remember who would put points on us, right? I remember thinking, we aren't going to be able to stop their receivers with the same thing with Villanova, with this 4-3 scheme. And we had a good defensive coordinator with the 4-3 scheme where I'm dropping into coverage when a 6'4" guy named Finneran all he does is when I go to my hook to curl drop, quote unquote, and all he does is he runs to the top of the linebacker. And as the linebacker expands, he goes in behind him and then just sits down in between the 2 linebackers and catches it and catches it again.
And again. You know how frustrating that is to watch? I mean, as I'm sure it is for you to play. You're like, son of a.
I kept saying, obviously I didn't know as much about defense back then.
Yeah.
But I said I was like, Coach, just blitz us and cover everybody like man to man.
Yeah, make it hard for them because Finneran, he wasn't fast, but make it hard for him to get off the line, disrupt timing. This is where I think the inexperience, and I'm sorry, coaches, I love all of our coaches that we had, but I think that we had a young staff at UConn.
They were young.
And I don't think they allowed communication between players and coaches. Because players have a different perspective on the field than coaches do watching it from the sidelines. And there needs to be dialogue, and there never was dialogue welcome. It was like, hey, do this, do that. Why aren't you getting this done? Dude, you need to hear my side of the story.
And it was a different time period because that's kind of how it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's, by the way, I don't know if there's more communication or not. Obviously, I'm not at one of these schools.
There definitely is.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. But I remember thinking, to this day, I still remember exactly what I was thinking. I was like, how many times am I going to just miss knocking it down when this guy runs? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're reacting as a linebacker. You're trying to feel this guy behind you who's going to be, you have a neck roll and you're fucking, even if you're as fast sprinting wise, you don't know where he's going. You have no idea.
And you're 6'1", and he's 6'4", 6'5", with a arm. His catch radius was he could throw it 10 feet up in the air and go get it. Finneran, man, he had long arms. There were some great teams, great receivers we played against.
Yep, and by the way, his brother was very good. His brother didn't make the pros, but his brother was on the other side.
And it was really good. Yes.
is the same height. I don't know if they were twins or not, but almost the
I
same
don't
height.
know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Can they get this
Let's
drive
see if
going?
LSU
Need
this
4.
But,
Nussmeier
like,
flush
go
by
back.
the 4-man
You
run.
came to the start of that
On
play.
the move this time. Touch. Oh,
That's the only time he would run out of desperation. But look how many yards he's able to get. They
Yeah.
never let him do anything. And by the way, he's an okay quarterback. Everyone's like, oh, he was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm like, are you guys drunk?
They don't bring big-time pressure. Nussmeier on the move.
See what I'm saying? Like, he could have ran for acres there. That was a nice pass. Okay.
Sure. But what I was going to try and get to is what Alabama did differently defensively to a trips or a wide bunch is they disguised it. They didn't line up in the coverage and then play that coverage. What they did was they, made it look like something and then turned it into something else.
Well,
like
they played this
safety on this side. It looks like it's going to be man, but it ends up being cover 2.
They play this formation, okay, almost the whole game, where they're blanketed across the line, okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was it 7?
Yeah, and Dave, what that does to the offensive line is now you need to make a squeeze call because you don't know if those linebackers are coming. You don't know what's going on, how they might blitz. So if both your A gaps are filled, you have to protect that area. So by just showing this right here and hugging that line of scrimmage, it screws up protection. And then the linebackers end up dropping. Sometimes they come.
Correct.
Dude.
And how about this? So first time I ever saw this a lot was last year. I watched Colorado versus UCLA. And UCLA had these twins. I don't know if they're in the pros or not, but they were transferred from North Texas. And they played like a linebacker, and they would roll up just like this, stand up, just like these guys were the whole game. But basically, they were playing like a D tackle spot, okay? And they were playing the run from there, and they killed Shedeur Sanders.
Well, yeah, because what you cannot do is you cannot pull a guard, because if you cover every hat on the line, typically what you do is you make a call if you're running any kind of trap scheme or any kind of
wing tee this.
scheme,
I think you need to wing tee this kind of, which everybody does now. Gus Malzahn does this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing in Central Florida. I mean, maybe not that good, but he used to do this really well, where these guys would all just smash down, everyone go down, and then wrap the guy around and kick this guy out, or just log him, right? And then get to the back and just kind of hit that over and over. The other thing is, this is the 100% by watching this alignment, they have zero scare. They're scared zero of the quarterback taking off.
Sure.
Because if you thought the quarterback might run a draw up the middle and you could just block these guys out, okay, and you thought he had the ability to do that, you would not line up like that. They have zero respect for him. Okay, zero. And they're playing that safety so far back, right?
Yep.
So they can play like a cover 3 or man free, right? No matter what.
What they do here is they rotate to a cover 2. You'll see it happen. But that's what I'm saying. They didn't just line up in their defense and play it.
That's crazy, isn't it?
No, you'll see the guy. He drops back to you have the guy in the boundary, the safety. He's over top. Then you have the linebacker drops to the boundary, and
cover 3.
No, I promise you it's cover 2, bro. It's an inverted cover 2 in the boundary, and it's true cover 2 to the field. Because if you watch, I can't point it out, but you watch that guy that's on the 30-yard line to the field. He sprints back to play that cover, that hash.
They call it cover 6, which is really like a cover 3. This guy's got like this quarter. This guy's got the whole entire. I mean, it's really
still have too high, is what I'm saying.
How is it 3 high? That's 3 high. 1, 2, 3. These guys are all low. Is there another guy I'm missing?
Just watch it. Let it play.
They Big
So
time
he
pressure.
sprints out of the picture.
Nussmeier.
You have too high.
It's cover 3, dude. It's cover 3.
All right,
Look,
man.
I want you to show me where the 4 guys are.
I wish I could. Like I said, the guy on the 30.
This safety drops to a third. This other safety drops to the middle. This corner drops to a third. That's cover 3.
But what they do is it's an inverted. All right, whatever.
It's cover. You could call it.
All
No, what? Yes, you could call it
too
an
high.
invert 3.
It's too
It's
high.
still it's 3.
If you watch that dude, watch him. Watch him. Just watch him.
They have thirds.
Watch him.
These guys have low. This guy has a third. He has a third. He has a third.
Okay. Why does he open up his hips? Why does he open up his hips? Look
this
at
guy
the
has deep third. The top guy has.
I understand that, but it's a cover 6 look. So, and then you have a linebacker that dropped out to cover the flat.
It's still 3 guys high,
dude. It's
all
all good.
4 guys underneath, 3 guys up top, 4 guys attacking. Look,
they only rush 3, so they have 8 in. They have 8 in. They only rush.
Cover 3 is third.
All right, bro. You're right, Coach. You got it.
And don't bring big time pressure. Nussmeier.
This guy's in the third.
But my point is this: Alabama did not line up in and stay in what the look was.
Absolutely correct.
I throw catch.
Absolutely correct.
Made first.
The look was
Nussmeier.
The look was either the corners in deep thirds or man free. You didn't know at the time what it was going to be, but that's what the look was. Either a man free or a regular traditional cover 3. But you're right. They kept the corner to the strong side down low and inverted the safety to take care of that the wide side third. Absolutely. They don't have the field split, though, in halves. That guy in the middle is way deep. That's a signal that it's either man-free for him or a version of cover 3, which is 6. That's what 6 is. Right? It's 3 times 2 is 6, right?
Survey.
2 safeties playing deep third. 2 safeties playing deep third is cover 6. Right. I don't really care about the make-believe that they actually score points at some point. It's really irrelevant. All this stuff is irrelevant. They suck. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
Morrow again, keeper. Taylor, no to the house.
Lord have mercy. Shade. You know what's great about watching Alabama? We don't even – this is how much better Alabama is than LSU.
Yeah.
There is no debate. LSU's defense sucks. I don't care what bullshit defense they're calling up there.
Right.
They're just you know what you call dial a defense. You know, like United States dial an offense where guys are just like dialing up plays. They really have no system or what they're trying to do is dial a play. This is called dial a defense. The defensive coordinator is like Brian Kelly is screaming at him on the headsets, saying, "What the fuck are you doing in red face?" Okay, and he's saying, "We worked on this all week." You know, I love that's my favorite with DCs because I haven't been a head coach for a long time. Like when you get mad at a DC, they're like, "We worked on this all week." I'm like, "Who against the shitty guys?"
Seriously,
of course it worked. Anything will work against the guys who suck.
Yeah.
Oh God,
you're
that's what I
was against the.
When you were on scout team and you were killing people. Or I remember when I was a freshman, they actually took me and they played me at receiver to try to simulate a bigger. I don't know who we were playing, and I was killing them. They were so mad. Now they're like, you're letting a fullback. I'm like, dude, you can call me whatever bullshit position you want because I'm white and you made me a fullback. okay? But I'm a better athlete than all these kids.
Right.
I'm like, I know in recruiting, I know the guy who's a tailback in high school in the Northeast, he's got to go play fullback in the 1990s. I get it. All right. Thank you for my scholarship. All right. Here we go. You must love how I am unadulterated, whether I talk to you on the phone or I don't care.
Right.
I mean, I just tell it how it is, dude. That's the truth. Like, all right, here we go.
And no, that's what it should be.
All right, let's go. So this looks like a design follow, right?
I agree. Yeah, this is the one that we saw before.
So
I think Alabama almost outcoached themselves, where they should have stuck with the. Even though this worked.
Right. There's so many guys to the backside.
Right.
But I see what LSU's trying to do. See, now the safety's a little more moved over, but they still that stupid. You're right. There's still 3 guys to the weak side.
Yeah, and exactly. So now you follow. I agree with you. I think that is a designed follow because you still have a hat for a hat. And why are you not slanting like this late in the game, knowing how they're beating you on things, and you're not even trying to like either slant or play games up front or bring some kind of blitz, some kind of just disrupt them.
Vernon Hargreaves would lose his mind on this middle linebacker.
Oh, gosh.
What? I'm guessing it's design. I don't know. The defensive end is showing. Like we used to play this stud thing, at UConn where the linebacker, or I don't know if this guy's actually a defensive end or a linebacker walked up, but
either way, he's one man in line of scrimmage. Yep.
How is he? Is he supposed to be going inside? I mean, why is he going inside?
I guess he can because they're playing cover 2 backside, so that's why that corner he's the outside container.
He's a corner. You know what he wants to do on Louisiana Saturday night?
Oh, absolutely.
He wants to go
publish somebody.
He's hoping he has an interception so he can go to the middle of Baton Rouge where all the fun parties are in the clubs.
Yeah.
He wants to go there and find himself a cute girl.
Yes.
He does not want to tackle this 6'4", 225-pound block of armor coming downhill at him. He does not want to do that.
I love every time you describe him, he gets bigger and bigger. He started out at 6 foot, 220. Now he's 6'4", 225. I'm just kidding.
Block of armor. You like that?
Block of armor. That's awesome, man. But in all seriousness, you're 100% correct. You cannot play like you got guys covering grass.
I mean, a tailback is blocking the corner. I mean, let's just. I mean, this guy is a tailback.
I'm sure the tailback weighs 200.
He carried the ball in high school 300 times. Okay, and he goes to Alabama on a scholarship as a tailback.
And now he's a lead blocker.
He doesn't really want to block. Okay, but they said to him, "Guess who you're going to get the block?" He's like, "Who? You have to block a linebacker? No.
Yeah.
You see the guy on the edge that doesn't ever tackle? That's who you're going to block."
You get a 180-pounder.
I can block him.
Yeah.
Again.
And he
probably graded out at 100.
What is the middle linebacker doing? Dude, 74 murdered the middle linebacker.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the one time we were playing Buffalo, we were having a great game. And then one time Ed Ellis came down and he caught me and he kicked me and I was on my back. And he's like, "Take that." I'm like, dude, I have like 8 tackles in this game. You got me once.
Yeah.
That's how we talk. That's how I talk during the game. Like, meanwhile, Richie Connors is eating like beer cans on the sidelines, and Russo looks like he's in the movie Braveheart.
Yeah, he's in Braveheart. Absolutely.
But Keeley was kind of like a dude-ish kind of guy in the huddle too. he was kind of like, all right, like here's the play call, ready, break. But he was great though, great player though, great player.
Yeah, he was.
Great player. But like he didn't really say that much either. Like he was kind of like, I'm gonna make a million tackles. I'm gonna go make tackles. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
And the other crazies on the defensive line front, which is a story for another time.
Yeah.
I've never seen 4 people yell at each other more in a game than Coutant, Rousseau, Connors, and then Chad Cook would just every once in a while be like, will you guys just shut the fuck up?
I can only imagine how great with that unit, how awesome that huddle was, man.
That's the only shame about that CUT. Our front 7 was great. Our back was bad. Yeah. But not bad. They were young, I think. It was like
they were young.
Freshmen. I think, they were all young. But those guys were sick. Coutant would just every play. They're fucking holding me.
Dude, what the fuck? Dude.
What the dude? Connors would be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, you're 220 playing defensive end. You're probably like
5'8".
Like every once in a while, I'm sure these 300-pound mammoths are gonna obviously get you. I mean, it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then Russo would just yell back at Coutant, shut up, stop bothering me with this. But dude.
Yeah, that's all Coutant would say. Dude.
Oh my God, the whole game.
Hey, Richie was a spider monkey, man. That dude.
He was good.
He would just stay so low and just play 100 miles an hour every time. He was so quick off the ball. Like you really had to run at him. You had to run at him. That was really the key. Yeah, you can't let him in space because he's going to whoop you. Because not only is he quick, he was extremely strong, man. And he had a low base all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought that's – I can't remember if teams did it at all, but I always thought that the best way to try to combat that would be to run because Rapone liked to play fast backside defensive end and a fast weak side linebacker.
Right.
And they're usually pretty small, even for FCS. And but teams back then they didn't, I don't know, they're not like how they are now where they scheme things up.
Right.
Again, keeper. Caleb Nono to the house.
They're gonna line up in the eye and do what they do. It's kind of. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think there's one more. There it is. I think Milrow must be thinking to himself, like, wow, coach said that this was going to work. And like, I really never thought it would work this way.
Hey, he better stretch his hamstrings out after this game because he was running 40s like all game.
Crazy, dude. Yeah. All right, let's see.
First time we've seen this.
Oh,
this was a fun play. I like this play.
Big end zone. It's called the end zone offense. Big. Now everybody does this, but it used to be a feature of the end zone offense, which was kind of like I don't know if they dumb it down now, but like used to be like 3 reads in 1. But,
absolutely. Yep. So you can throw the bubble.
Yep.
Or
in this case, they do it where a lot of people do where they hand it off to the back. Yeah. They could do a backside screen. They could throw the bubble, or they would have like a steal route on that one receiver side where you could run. They used to call it not Denver, something like with a D, and they would run like a steal route. If the guy was played all, you would just kind of look. I don't think they're doing any of that. They're just showing the look of it, right? But
correct.
But that was like the original end zone.
Right.
I think the front side was like a sit down with a corner and then this bubble. So that's used. I don't know if they're running it here.
Motions out.
No,
I think he's this is here in my opinion. This is so we ran something very similar to this at Fort Scott, right? Where you read that play side, not play side, it would be the field side linebacker. If he widens with the motion, QB, you take it. Because if you look at the slot guy, he's already blocking. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the tight end is running a little under just to kind of pull that backside linebacker. And, it's either a bubble to this fullback or the running back or he's keeping it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And 1 second. Let's play it. What the hell? Oh, wait.
Milroe just takes off. Guess what? Quarterback run.
I love how he says, "Guess what?
Number 4 with his
Another quarterback run.
touchdown. 72 yards. Dagger to the Tigers.
It is.
Hopes and Milroe
down. You get both back.
Oh, here we go. This is great, right?
End up motioning Miller out, and you can see a linebacker follow him. But when you follow him, see him pointing, little hesitation.
Exactly.
Now look at that
So
back.
when that other guy takes
now
him,
that back that left
or he
is good.
takes him,
Who's going to lead?
that's telling Jalen Milrose
safety.
right now, I'm
And now
running
it's
this
speed.
show.
I mean, that's 6 just out running everybody on that LSU defense.
That is.
It's like one of the most basic textbook
could have done what Kyler Murray did.
plays
When the Cardinals
nowadays
played the 49ers. He
with two
put the
backs.
finger in the air at about the 40-yard line because it was over at that point. That's his longest career run.
All right.
How about
All right. Well, I'm gonna come out of that there. But all right. Let's see if we can get us to look bigger than me.
I find it amazing that he had his longest career run against one of the fastest teams in the country. That's how fast he is.
Yeah, supposedly he's the fastest guy on the team. I don't know. Supposedly he ran 4.3 something in.
Really?
Yeah. So he's like, now he's bigger than Lamar Jackson, so he's not. He might be more sprinter speed. You know what I'm saying? Than
he's not shifty.
And that quick. Yeah, shifty.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, one of the great things about someone that has that sprinter speed is that if they're shifty, obviously with it, it's like you get Lamar Jackson, right? But
right. Yeah.
Which is almost
you get the best player in the NFL for the last 3 years.
Yeah. There's almost none of those guys, but
Right.
but I think and not usually are you going to get a guy that runs a 4.3 at that size, but I think what is amazing is when you get you look at Josh Allen in the pros, right? Like he's he's a little bit bigger version.
He's about 6'5".
Yeah, of Milroe, but the same thing. He's not like ultra quick, like first. I mean, they all have good first steps, but like their second and third step, it's not like they're full speed, right? Their first step is good; they're quick, but they're not like a running back or Lamar is where the feet are going so fast, or Kyler Murray where the feet are going really fast. But what they are if they get downhill, I mean, because now you're going to tackle a train too.
They run through tackles. You can't arm tackle those guys. They are so powerful. You absolutely right. Yeah.
And running a 4.40 at that size.
Come on, man.
And they're shifty enough. You know what I'm saying? Like they can make the one. Really, what do you need to be when you're that big? A one cut guy, like to make the one cut each side. You don't have to, be like, all right, you need to be able to make the one cut because you're a big guy. If you make the one cut, they're only going to tackle you with either half their body or their arms, and that's going to be a hard person to bring. So that's what Milroe reminds me of. He's a little shorter version of Josh Allen, maybe a little faster than Josh Allen is, but that same style, big arm, cannon for an arm. I think he reads the defenses pretty well, but the knock on Josh Allen coming out of college, even though he was the first pick, the knock on him was that it wasn't like he was reading the whole field at the time because he obviously probably physically dominant at Wyoming. Yeah, he's Milroe's dominant.
Josh Allen has a little bit more touch and better accuracy than Milroe.
Milroe might have
things that can develop though.
Right. His ball does come out so fast, but
hard.
This quarterback. It's interesting how some guys can throw the ball really hard, but yet it's not hard for the receivers to catch. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
And there's Elway, who just threw everything hard. You had to adjust to him. He didn't give a flying Fig Newton if that thing came in. as an easy ball to catch. But there are guys that throw the – actually, I guess Aaron Rodgers in his heyday could throw it like a cannon, but it used to be an easy ball to catch.
Yeah. It's about spinning. It's about the rotation. Like some people, they don't snap that wrist, and what happens is it comes in extremely straight and hard. It has to get through the air. But like where I was, even in like my heyday, I could get the ball 68 yards down the field. Like I was able to get it that far, 65 to 68, yards. I didn't throw a hard ball. I threw a catchable ball. So I would always adjust it accordingly. And a lot of times people would say, oh, he doesn't have a strong arm. But I could sling that thing in there when it needed to be really stroked. But the thing is, these guys that throw a hard ball, it's about how they hold it, and then it's about how they snap that wrist at the end of it to get the spin on the ball to cut through the air. And it is just a lot easier for those guys, the receivers, to catch. Whereas you throw like a dense ball and you don't have a lot of spin on that ball, that thing comes in like just heavy as all hell.
Coming hot. Like you really have to have good hands.
Mm-hmm.
And
strong hands. You got to have strong hands.
You got to have strong hands, right?
Or you're going to hear it, beat it, like they always say, beat them up, ball. It hits you in your gut.
Zeke used to throw like that. Zeke used to throw like that.
Zeke threw a hard ball, yeah. He had a cannon.
Like I would run my 5-yard out, and I would be like, fullback, the little release to the flat in the old eye, It used to be like, zoom!
Yeah, you don't have to throw every ball the same way. And that's what some quarterbacks do. They throw it the same way, no matter if it's a deep, comeback 18-16 to the wide side of the field. They'll throw that the same way they throw, like you were just talking about, that little release kind of a deal to the running back. And it's like, why, bro? Especially when you're throwing.
I remember one time he put touch on it, and like I actually dropped it. Okay.
Yeah, because you're expecting
running the route, and the ball, like I'm expecting a laser to kick. I was like, oh shit. And I was like, you
had great hands.
Yeah, I never dropped that.
Soft hands, bro.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I dropped it.
You're like, what?
I'm like, dude, I'm expecting a fucking taser. I'm mentally getting myself ready for a taser. Yeah. I remember against JMU, I ran the flat route. In the throw a touchdown pass to win the game against them to Monte. But I remember the first play of the drive, I didn't expect him to throw it to me because we were like on the 8-yard line or something. And I ran my out, and he tasered it. Luckily, it was thrown so hard that it just stuck right to my chest. I was like,
you got stuck in your face mask, like in the one movie. I forget what it is. That's funny. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like, I caught it. It tackled me. That's when the ball actually like knocks you down.
I caught it. Can you throw it so I can run instead of I have to spend my whole time trying to catch it?
Yeah.
And then I get tackled.
And hoping I don't get hurt.
Well, actually, that's the thing that quarterbacks, and you were great with this. You were a great yak quarterback. Okay, because when you throw the ball that's catchable in the right spot, dude, guys can run. When you throw the ball, either that's not catchable or it's very hard to catch, like you really have to concentrate. It does take you a little bit away from taking that step to run, and obviously in college, that's the difference between literally you might have be 20 yards down the field, or you get in the ball and the guy tackles you right away.
Right, it's a game of 6 instead of a game of 26.
It literally is. Like I watched so many games where you see guys throw the ball and you're like, oh my god, like that guy is just a phenomenal. UConn, for example, the Evers is a terrible yak quarterback.
Yeah, he's a hard
ball, but he throws it hard, and it kind of. It must be something to do with, you would know better than me, like his whip. I think he could be fixed. I really do. Like I think honestly, I would. Hello, Shane. Yes.
Yeah.
This is Jim Mora. Yes, Mr. Mora. We need help. We got a kid that's a really good athlete, and we are paying him big money for us, which is pennies for Alabama, but a lot of money for us because we don't have enough. And We need to get this guy fixed because we pay him, and can you come fix him? And I think you could go up there and take an athlete like he is, because it's not like he can't throw the ball. He can throw the ball. You get him worked out, fixed.
I don't know if it was him, or I think it was him that threw that touchdown against UAB.
The last two was the other guy.
Okay.
The first.
But they throw flat balls, man.
The last two was the other guy, the backup, who actually throws a pretty good ball.
Yeah.
He just can't run. So I don't know. It's amazing that they've won 1 million games, because I really think the quarterback situation is kind of dicey.
You know what they say, when you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one.
It's a tribute to how good the rest of the team is playing, because that's usually that's a recipe for disaster. You know what I mean? But the rest of the team deserves credit. Those guys must be likable guys. They must like those quarterbacks. Those two. The guys must like those guys, because a lot of times you get in a situation like that, and guys start to get like this,
Well, the other thing too, though, Dave, is the two quarterbacks. They must like each other as well.
They must
be good leaders. Yeah, because that could cause a lot of controversy, man. But I will tell you what helps.
I agree with you. I think they must be good leaders.
Man. What? That NIL money helps, bro. I'm happy. As long as I get that paycheck, hey, you do your thing, I'll support you. I'll do mine, you support me.
This is your call. You know what, Jim? I was waiting for your call, but I figured I'd call you first. So there's some back NIL money for the 10 minutes I got, and I figured out a solution on how we could make everybody happy.
Yeah.
So here's the solution. I'll work with your quarterback for 6 months. You put me in a house for 6 months, or listen, you can put me at 70 Penny Hill Road if you want for 6 months. That's okay, but give me $50K, $75K. I'll work with him by the time he walks into camp. So spring ball. I'm not a quote unquote coach, so I'll work with him after you guys are doing your practice, as far as days off, and just tone him. In the summer, I'll be with him the whole entire time. He goes into camp. You say, Shane, here's your money. It's been great seeing you. Here's your $75K. And you go back, and Shane can go wherever he wants to. And now your quarterback, Evers, or whoever else you want me to work with, that's fine. But Evers specifically, because you guys are paying him NIL money and you're hoping he can be great, he's ready to go. He'll now throw 30 touchdowns for you. I think that's the call. I'm brokering that right now.
I wish, man. I would love to do something like that, Dave, especially with UConn, man. Like, you know how passionate, bleed blue type of deal, man. That's serious stuff, man. Like, we love that university. And, that would be awesome, man.
Obviously, I know you like coaching. But, they're all – that's funny. They're waiting for me on the other podcast here. All right. I'm going to let you guys start real quick. I'm going to mute me, and then I'm going to start you. I just got to finish up with Shane here real quick, okay? Oh, yeah, we're having a great – well, our talk is sick right now. So I'll be on in like 5 minutes. Great conversation. All right, I'm going to mute me.
Right. So you want to talk about Colorado or Indiana at all, or what do you –
Yeah. I want to talk about it right now. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to get them started.
All right,
hold on. Let me get that. All right. And I got them going. All right. And now I'm locked out. So hear them? Okay, good. All right, I'm back.
Look at him.
So I got them going. I'm like a producer at NBC. So and I'll jump by. I'll jump out in 5 minutes. So that I think your breakdown of Alabama is really good. Colorado. I think I'll give you my quick slant and let you go. I'm very impressed I was a naysayer, no doubt, last year. Not that I didn't think he could get there. I thought he could get there. I wasn't at the time a huge fan of how he was doing it. But now
it is a little annoying. It's overwhelming at times.
Well, everybody's doing it now. You know what I'm saying? So like
you have to.
There's no reason to be like poo-pooing it. He basically was just the innovator.
Yeah.
So which I thought was probably going to be the case. I just didn't know.
He's the Trump of college football right now.
Oh, all right.
Deion Sanders.
Then I vote for Dion.
Definitely puts himself out there, you know? He doesn't mind what he says. And he backs it up, though.
He backs it up. And that's why, and I guess I vote for Dion then. So, so I certainly voted for Trump. All right. So I think everyone on the planet, if you follow my channel, knows who I voted for.
Yeah. I think that's that was an obvious one. I'm not gonna lie, I did too. I mean, I had to.
Did you really?
I had to. I had to, Dave. I mean, he's the best thing for us right now. I can't stand listening to him talk, but at the end of the day, he's the best thing for us.
By the way, you're the reason why Trump won. So because
my vote, my one.
Not me, because obviously I was already for him. I already saw. Right. I already believed that. Yeah. So I'm really not the person. Although I guess people like me who run a show that talk about what we did do. That show we did. If anyone watches it, you know, obviously all the guys that are on there basically were voting for Trump, but. What we tried to do was talk about the things that we thought were important to us, not
certainly
what we thought were important to us. And if other people thought that was important to them, they may end up seeing it all right. If you didn't think it was important to you, then you're going to vote for Kamala, right? So
I don't know how anybody would, honestly, but whatever.
Did you see? Not to get political, because I do want to.
Yeah, I know.
But I was, you know what I was shocked about, which I had no idea about. All the stuff that's coming about how much money they spent. That they spent $1 billion, and she spent $50 million on salaries for her. She gave Oprah $1 million. She gave Beyonce $2 million. She gave Lizzo $2.3 million. She gave basically all the Eminem $1.8 million. She gave so basically now. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Dana White, all obviously basically either billionaires or borderline billionaires in themselves, endorsed him for free.
Yeah.
For free. So she would, I didn't know this at the time. Like, I had no idea. Like, I suspected that might be the case. Yeah. But just because, like, I didn't think that J-Lo and all them came out with a lot of enthusiasm. Like, it seemed scripted almost. Yeah. And I look at it like, but I wasn't 100% sure. Now it's coming out. I'm like, wow. Like, supposedly Kamala's $20 million in debt after, which is crazy. Listen, if you're wanting to be president, I get you want to be president, but you definitely don't want to go into debt to be president.
Yeah, not $20 million in debt.
That's
maybe
crazy.
a couple $100,000, maybe.
Yeah. 20 million?
But 20 mil? Come on.
And she spent $1 billion?
That right there is eye-opening and a concern. Because if you're doing that stuff without understanding the repercussions financially, what are you going to do when you're the leader of the free world and you're going to just blow up our whole economy now? Like, anyway, hey, let's get back on track.
You could have went to this, right. I think you made the right vote, because now you don't have to go to the store for eggs and whatever it's now, like $6 or whatever it is.
Oh my God, for a carton of eggs. Yeah, it's like I can't even afford eggs now.
Hopefully that will come down. Gas hopefully come. But I think that's where it really honestly, you know, back when Clinton won back in the day over George Bush Sr.
Yeah.
His whole thing was, it's the economy, stupid. Meaning it is the economy. It's what people ultimately. The stuff in foreign affairs are important. We obviously want to be protected. The legal immigration, there's a lot of issues there. Sure. But the real thing that Americans are worried about is, I ain't got money.
It's about that cheese, man.
I can't, feed my kids. I can't feed myself. I got to live paycheck to paycheck because of eggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eggs and milk, like the necessities. I mean, milk, eggs, bread. Like, Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to
Colorado before I go.
About, bro.
Let's talk Colorado, Indiana.
Okay.
Talk about Colorado. What your thoughts are there?
Here's my big thing is if Shedeur can take care of the football like he's doing, I really think Colorado has a chance to cause disruption. Are they national championship contenders? I don't think so. But I think it's fun to watch them play. Dion is entertaining. They have a ton of playmakers on that field, not just your boy, the Hunter, whatever. Hunter, Travis Hunter. Like he needs. Everybody's talking about him possibly being in a Heisman race. He's so far out of it. Yes, he makes big plays. He's electrifying, all that stuff. But he needs to do more things on defense and possibly special teams. But I think Colorado has a good chance to, win their conference and make some noise in the win a game or two, which nobody would think that they would do right now.
Shocking.
Yeah, it is. It truly is shocking. A big win in Indiana. What a huge win against Michigan. I know Michigan's having a down year, but it's Michigan. You know what I'm saying? And going back to Colorado real quick, for them to win that game, that shows you how much that they are together and how much Deion's influence on that team is, because they were down 10-0 in Lubbock, Texas, which is a tough place to win. And going against Texas Tech, they found a way to come back and ended up beating them by like 2 scores, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, they beat them good.
And so I think both of those squads can do some damage. Indiana, if Rourke, their quarterback, he's not like prolific in any way, shape, or form. He cannot turn the ball over. If he turns the ball over at all, they're going to lose games because they've got a solid defense, a good run game, very good up front. But, man, those two teams, I think it's awesome to watch a team like Indiana that hasn't had this much success in I don't know how many years. It's great to see them like that. And, again, it goes to the NIL money kind of a deal, them being able to get transfers, man. It's fun to watch,
Dion has done a great job leading. I think Shedeur is like really, really got improved from just last year.
I think he's a little underrated, to be honest.
Yeah, he's very, very good. I mean, he's made some plays in tight games that I'm like, this is a guy. This is a guy. I mean, I think he's going to go high in the draft. And then Indiana. So, Deion's leadership style is completely different than Cignetti. Both are effective in what they're doing. But Cignetti, as far as what he's doing, not just as far as with his team and how he reshaped them with the transfer portal,
right?
He's got a good style of offense, a very good defense, very good leadership. But what he's done as far as even practices, so he doesn't go for more than an hour and 40 minutes, possibly shorter sometimes. His style is, and I want you to look up this guy, Tony Holler. He's a track coach, but he
check him out.
Yeah, he teaches speed, but it's a philosophy overall that he now applies to he was a former basketball coach, but he applies to football, all types of sports. But that premise was you could continue to develop speed, and if you do it certain ways. Yeah. And basically, the thing is, his whole thing is to be able to get things done, make them compete in practice, not extend things beyond. I'll use, for example, he doesn't believe in the timer with the periods.
Oh yeah.
He says the guys, and this goes along with this kind of Tony Holler philosophy. Not that they've ever talked to each other. Tony Holler is a Saquon Barkley's now, like one of his speak and so. But he's gone away from the timer up there because he says guys would be looking at it and pacing themselves, right? So let's say you were in a drill and you went hard. and you look up and it's 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I better
Yeah.
like fucking.
I gotta go hard for 3 more minutes. What?
I just went hard I went for a minute and a half. I'm dying.
Yeah.
So got rid. So I think a lot of things that he's doing, philosophically of how he approaches football, is translated in every place he's been so far. It's translating now in Indiana as well.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I don't know how Dion does his practices. He's a little more traditional. He tries to, like I saw like the man practice again when something went wrong.
Yeah.
But I think what Cignetti's doing with the modern athlete, move fast, get things done,
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, everyone has to know what they're doing, but get things done. Like, let's not waste excessive time on the field,
Right.
Because that becomes guys not wanting to come to practice, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really good philosophy. You want guys to want to come to practice.
Yeah.
I think about when we played, I don't know if this was the same way for you, but man, practice was a killer on defense.
Yeah.
It was like we were killing each other to kill each other type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, there's a lot less tackling now, so that part of it's not as bad. But just the philosophy of moving fast, getting things done. We don't need to beat a dead horse. The old philosophy of we're going to do pursuit drill over and over and over and over and over and over again at the beginning of practice, and you're dead.
Right.
It's just dumb. Bottom line, it's so.
All you're doing is running sprints. Hey, what are we doing? We're not getting better. Everybody knows how to pursue. Hey,
give me 2 good reps. You're out of here. 2 good reps.
Get going.
But if you tell them that beforehand,
and then move into another drill. I did love what we did at Fort Scott.
Okay.
Like, we did not waste time in any drill. Everybody was working the entire, and we didn't want to go over an hour and 30, an hour and 45 minutes either. We wanted to get it in and get it out and get going. We had to, because we had to practice in the morning so these kids could get to class, kind of a deal. And then we had study hall in the evening, all that kind of stuff. Point is this, I agree wholeheartedly with you. And that's why it's so important for kids to pay attention in the classroom in terms of when you get taught things by the coach. So now when we go out, you're ready to go 100 miles an hour. But at the same time, you still got to correct mistakes. And that's where you do it in the film room. And that's where these kids got to pay attention. And I think that's what's helping college football go this way, because they're starting to get that type of coaching in high school now. So that's only transitioning up to the next level. So I totally agree with what you're saying, man. 100%, man.
It's funny because I was looking for a guy locally, and this is kind of becoming more and more my philosophy on things. Like, do things fast. The guy Tony Howard talks about you want to be able to continue to live to fight another day each day. Meaning, if I take a quarterback and I train him and throw him for an hour, he's shot, dude. He's not coming back tomorrow and be able to throw.
Yeah.
But if I work him and get the things right in short bursts, he can come back and throw tomorrow. And if I could actually throw 5 days in a row without hurting my arm or my legs and hips and not getting real sore, that is way more reps than if I throw 1,000 times one day, can't throw again until 4 days later. You're not getting – I'm reinforcing. So I think that I said – so a guy came – and the reason I say so you're gonna – I'll let you talk about it, but you'll laugh. I talked to a guy. I don't want to say his name.
Sure.
Yeah, leave the dog here. So I talked to a guy, and I was like, someone said, hey, this guy might be a good quarterback coach for you. All right, called him up. He talked to me about, I don't know if I work with 9-year-olds. All right, that's fine. I understand that. Yeah. He said, but this is how I do it. I do an evaluation, and it's 4 to 5 hours of work to see what I need to fix. I'm like, what?
5 hours. How do you keep a 9-year-old's attention?
How do you? He says,
how do you keep me our age?
4 hours. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to sit there for 4 hours? So I said, well, okay. I said, what do you do for 4 to 5 hours?
Yeah.
Now he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a dad.
Yeah. He doesn't know your background.
Doesn't know anything.
Dude, that's why. And
I'm
we
like,
can
all
get
good.
into
I'm
this
like, I don't know if this will be a fit. I'm like, but I'll call you if it is. But I was like,
bro,
no one should ever go to this guy. And he played at a big time college. No one played quarterback. Anytime someone asks me, when I tell them I play football and I'm in the industry, they ask me, oh, and your kid plays quarterback, and I'm like, I don't want to tout him. I'm just saying he's pretty good, Yeah. I know what he's thinking. He's like, oh, this is a dad, right?
Right.
And he goes, well, did you play quarterback yourself? And I'm like, no, I didn't. So I know immediately thinking like this guy's thinking, oh,
And I'm
like, I would never send my fucking kid to you.
Dude, I'm telling you, like when I coach these kids, individual train, we talked about this. I do things differently on each day. I have like a teaching day. Like I have working short routes, intermediate routes, deeper routes, all those different things. Sometimes it's all play action stuff. Sometimes it's shotgun stuff. Sometimes it's really to bust your butt and get your ass in shape kind of a deal with bands and overspeed and resistance training. Sometimes it's deep balls because I want to strengthen your arm and work on deep ball accuracy. I never do the same thing every day, each day we train. That's why literally 3 days a week, preferably maybe 4, and 1 is like a nice little soft toss, like work on your footwork, work on corrections, fundamentals, all those things. That would be like the 4th day if we were to get into a 4th day. But you never, like you said, you don't want to kill the guy's arms. You don't want to kill the guy's legs, because if you do that at that young of age, or even in high school age, you're going to not get the proper reps that you need. They're going to be fatigued. They're going to lose focus on their fundamentals, because what they want to do is
go to training.
Yeah, and they want to show out all the time. It's not about making a kid feel completely sore, but there are days where you need to do certain things. It's like,
and that's why I want you to go look up Tony Holler. The score thing. I was even hard for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
But I started doing more and more of what he talks about.
Yeah.
In my development of kids and coaching. I don't know what's going on. But
dog barking.
I know, but I don't know. Maybe she hasn't left yet. So it's more and more. I'm like, what Tony's talking about, is interesting. You want them to be able to continue to perform at a high level all the time. If not, rest them.
Yes,
rest is the key, and you have to figure out what the right amount of work that you can get done, so you can practice. Not practice, but do your work
maximum efficiency.
That's it, without burning them. And basically, his whole thing is, you want Bo, let's go, come here. You want them to come to practice. You know what I mean? You want them to come to practice and want to be there. Like one of the things that started to strike me, even though I don't go that long, when kids are like, "Oh, is practice over?" I'm like, "Oh, I got to start to change even more. I got to adapt even more than what I'm doing now. I gotta make this more fun. I gotta get done what I need to get done in a better way." Because when I hear that, to me, I hear I don't want to play football. That's what I hear. I don't hear, kids think, they want to play in the games, but I don't want to practice. I want them to get to a point where practice is the best part of their day.
Yeah.
So, right. And I always think about what's their favorite drill. Like, and I'm not going to let them do it all the time because it involves tackling. Right. They love what I call shake and bake. Okay. Before me, people were, I can't believe they were still doing it. They were doing What's that drill? The Oklahoma drill? I'm
Oklahoma,
no.
It's the dumbest drill ever.
Dumbest drill ever.
It's okay to do like once every once in a while when a team
I don't
is
even think it's good.
But
I'm against it, period, because I think you get it done over time. What you need to get done with that over time without people saying, I'm going to go play basketball, after that drill, right? Like, I mean, I think about my son who is a quarterback. When he first started playing football, if we did that drill, he would be kicking a soccer ball. Okay.
No doubt. No doubt.
There's no doubt. Like, and now he's over time become tougher, is able to handle things. Yeah. But I always think about who's the first timer out here. That's not going to be a fun drill for him. No. So, again, it's fun for the kid. It's his third year, and he's been.
He's looking for a challenge. He wants to be the BMOC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course, it's fun for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for everybody else, it's not fun. So, so I made this drill called shake and bake, which means they stand at an angle. They're about 5, not too far apart, because I'm always worried about them being too far apart.
Yeah.
And it's something, but like about 4 to 5 yards apart.
Yeah.
The guy who's carrying the ball is trying to get to the other side, similar to the Oklahoma drill. Yeah. But they're at an angle, and you're allowed to make moves.
Yep.
Because I remember, Oklahoma.
And you said
run straight. Remember the Oklahoma drill? They'd be like, run straight. Okay.
Yeah. No. You said, and what that drill teaches though, Dave, is angles. So now it helps the defense as well, as opposed to just running straight. Now you got cutback angles that is cut off, and you're in space, which is where the game is going now. Everybody wants to be in space. So defender has to be in space, a ball carrier. I know exactly what drill you're talking about, whatever you want to call it. But
you call it, and the kids love it.
Yeah,
they love it. Even the kids who aren't as good like it. And we pair them up by tackling ability.
Right.
So the guys who tackle well or physical are in one group. And then the guys who are learning or not there yet tackling-wise, they're in the other group. And you don't come over from one group to the other group. Kids always ask, I'm ready to come over here. I'm ready.
Yeah.
But until they are good enough, physical enough, they don't come over to this group.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's – And I always think back, what is the first timer? Now, it's and these are the kind of things I think of, like I'm always trying to figure out how to do these things better. But the Tony Holler kind of brought wind of it. Like people are like, kids are all, I just want to do shake and bake the whole time. I said, okay, 40 minutes of shake and bake. By the time you guys are at your 7th rep, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
After the 2nd or 3rd time, you're probably already exhausted.
Yeah, just get through it. Go. Because we would match up running backs against safeties, recievers against corners, and linebackers against tight ends and or running backs.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Size-wise. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of similar to what you're talking about too. But yeah, it's a great drill. But like you said, we would only do it for like 5 minutes. So everybody in those 5 minutes, if you got 6 people in line on both sides, you're going to get 3 reps, 4 maybe reps. So you're not getting a ton, but you're going to go hard for those 3 or 4. You try and teach the defense side to square them up, understand the angles, and possibly strip the ball while securing the tackle, as well as the offensive side, how to, use angles and then protect the ball. And it's great. It's a great drill. I love it. Absolutely love it. But I know you got to get going, man.
Yeah, let's go. I'll jump on the last 5 minutes when the dog's eating the wires. I hope he doesn't get himself electrocuted.
Oh, geez.
All right. But yeah, that was a great podcast. I love the breakdowns. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
I love talking, man. Football with you.
No doubt. It's fun. It's fun. It's really a lot of fun discussing that stuff. All right. Till next time. This is the best college football breakdown show. We're only going to get better. So we don't even need to bring in guests. That's how good we are. Unless Gruden wants to come in. He's so fired up. We'll take him for a day.
There we go.
All right, until next time, College Football Friendzy for me, Coach Schumann, and Shane Stafford, the legendary quarterback. Oh, and by the way, before I let you go, I asked Joe D'Ambrosia last week, who is the top quarterback of all time at UConn? I think I asked him top 3, but he said, without hesitation, numero uno, was Shane Stafford.
Wow.
He didn't even blink, Shane. He said, without question, number one. You gotta look it up. It's on my YouTube. It's on. You might have to dig to find where it was, but I don't remember exactly where it was on the podcast. But I asked him, might have been towards the end, and he said Shane Stafford. I think then he said two was Orlovsky, and then the third guy was a guy I didn't know. Might have been, maybe it was before.
Not DeGennaro?
He didn't say DeGennaro.
Wow, okay. And he's been around for.
He said somebody. I think he said a name that maybe it was a modern guy. I just didn't know him. But I said a name I just didn't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I didn't know that. But he said without hesitation. He said without a doubt, Shane Stafford. So feel good about that, bud.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, man. That means a lot.
No, yeah. I was, because everybody always praises like Orlovsky, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because he's on TV now, and you know he's got the
Joe D has watched all those games.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: if I didn't get hurt my senior year, Dave, you know as well as I do, there would nobody would be ahead of me in stats as well.
No way. I mean, Hoff threw for 1,000,000 yards when you got hurt. Like those have been games.
One game he did. One game.
That
was the UMass game. He threw for like 400 yards. That's it.
Oh,
after that, he was like 180, 200 here and there. And,
you would have been averaging 300 yards all those games.
No, I would have been right around 280.
250, 3. Yeah,
right
That's
around
right.
280.
Skip let you throw, but he didn't let you throw. Like he didn't let you just come out and sling it.
Oh man,
he should have, dude. You know what? That was another. I don't want to get too far off this. But that was another. Obviously, he was young. Having seen you play in Tampa, obviously. Actually, I saw you play in. I would say, actually, the most fun was Tallahassee.
Sure.
It was definitely a low level. Like half the guys looked like they were probably teaching class in the morning. You know, but as far as like, dude, the way you know, especially at Tampa, because obviously you're playing against better competition.
Yeah.
The way you really just chuck that thing around, I would just think to myself, man, if they just freaking let him chuck it around, like you know, in the modern spread like it is now. Like, if you imagine if you were in Mike Leach's system.
Come on, man. I don't even want to imagine. It gets me frustrated.
You would have thrown for whatever those guys all throw for, you know,
4,000 yards every year.
Every year,
4,000 yards, bro. It wouldn't even been a question.
It would not have been a question. And
give me options and let me, especially now, my freshman year, understood. But definitely junior, senior year, man, you let me chuck that thing around this block and not everything a 5-step. We didn't have any 3-step game really, or any quick throws.
You weren't in gun
options.
You were never in gun.
Never. But anyway, man, get out of here. Go make your money. You went in gun
a little bit, right? Didn't you go in gun a little bit? No, maybe not. Maybe didn't.
A little bit, but it was the most.
When you went in gun, we knew you were throwing. I mean, there was no like.
Yeah, we didn't. And like I said, I was good enough of an athlete to get us 6 to 8 yards on a zone read. Right. I'm gonna get you that, and I might get you 20. I'm probably gonna get caught like Shank always got caught before he scored a touchdown. And by the way, and I always mess with Shank about this, but if Shank ran a 4.4, man, I'd probably have 10 more touchdowns. That dude was beast too. He was a stud, man. Nobody could tackle him. He was a running back. He was like the cheetah, but not as fast. Like you weren't tackling him one-on-one at all. And he had strong hands, bro. That's why I would throw him 50-50 balls. Because I knew he was going to, at least it would be incomplete. He would never, ever let me down.
I'm trying to think of, I tried to think of an animal, since he's not the cheetah, who he's more like maybe like
a wildebeest.
but what's like an athletic, like, but not that fast animal? Mule?
Yeah, maybe we'll have to continue on the next show.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure that out for us. I gotta go find an animal that's very athletic, but it's not really
extreme.
that fast.
No, but what I'm saying, and not putting my boy down, man. That's our man.
He was All-American. He was an All-American.
He was an All-American, and rightfully so. But man, go do your show, bro. Because I know we get to talking, and this will go on for another 45 minutes.
Don't worry, we love you. We thought you were a great receiver. Okay, yeah. I know if you see this, we're gonna get a text.
Yeah,
you were a great receiver.
Yeah,
you were pretty fast, but like I wasn't worried when I had to cover you in defense. I was worried when Dak Newton lined up in the slot. Yeah, I just was I looked on the sideline. I'm like, is there help over the top? Because you might as well just give the completion. You might as well just mark the ball where you want it to be. Just place it down there because that's where he's going to be.
All right, brother.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Out of here. I'll see you next week.